And I've said for years that someday AI will replace me, just not today. Well, the day has come. I'm making that point so strongly because all of a sudden, everybody's a damn AI expert. I'm telling you this based off of experience. I own a Google Ads agency that manages almost $100 million in ad spend. And we're using AI right now today in order to optimize campaigns on a level that we've never been able to do before. The principles that I'm going to be sharing with you are real world. These are actually practical application, like things that I've used. This isn't theory. Because we're talking about AI, what we need to do first is define terms. I think that might be the most important exercise of today's talk, to be honest with you, because AI, for me anyway, and you maybe are smarter or better educated or actually went to college, it's something of an intangible concept. You know, like I understand artificial intelligence, but as far as practical application, it's more or less eluded me. In preparation for this talk, I went and I tracked down definitions. So I've got Wikipedia's definition up here. Intelligence, perceiving, synthesizing, and inferring information demonstrated by machines as opposed to intelligence displayed by non-human animals and humans. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. And this is going to get really, really important because the way that we define AI is going to dictate the way that we use AI. So that's the textbook definition, let's say, and I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to ask you to set it aside too. The one that I kind of liked was techtarget.com's definition. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines. Now, here's what that means. It means that we need to treat AI-driven mechanisms as though they're human. And what's interesting is this isn't a discussion about the future. I'm telling you this based off of experience. I own a Google Ads agency that manages almost $100 million in ad spend. And we're using AI right now today in order to optimize campaigns on a level that we've never been able to do before. And I've said for years that someday AI will replace me, just not today. Well, the day has come, sadly. Google rolled out a campaign type called Performance Max. If you've been to some of my other AdWorld talks, you've probably heard me talk about it. Y'all, it is amazing. It's the most amazing marketing mechanism I've ever seen in person, and it's entirely AI-driven. You effectively give Google your creative, your assets, relative targets, but even that's not necessary because the AI will figure it out. And then Google goes off and it finds who's going to buy from you in what capacities at what intervals and then optimizes accordingly. Entirely AI driven. So AI lives right now today, and the principles that I'm going to be sharing with you are real world. These are actually practical application, like things that I've used. This isn't theory. And the reason that let me back up. Some of it is, of course. But I'm making that point so strongly because all of a sudden everybody's a damn AI expert. Have you noticed that? You've got all these, gurus and thought leaders running around pumping out courses on how to use ChatGPT, and in my mind, I'm like, 40 days ago you were a crypto expert, and now I don't know. I'm not trying to throw too much shade, but I do just want to make the point that I am an absolute, complete, total, and utter amateur. This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I want to remind you that we provide done-for-you Google Ads services. We're the #1 ranked Google Ads agency on the planet with almost $100 million in ad spend under management. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, C-level exec, director of marketing, and you're managing your own Google Ads, I think that's a massively inefficient use of your time. As a matter of fact, in my experience, within 90 days, we're able to optimize existing campaigns to a point to where we're paying for ourselves. We move from being a cost center to a profit center, and I want to put my time and my money where my mouth is. If you're spending $10,000 a month or more in Google Ads, I want to offer you a free, no obligation action plan. A high-level member of my team, one of our strategists, will look at your account, open the hood, and do a full diagnostic and explain everything that we would recommend that you change in order to optimize your campaigns. You can take that, do it yourself, you can hand it to an internal member of your team, or, in an ideal world, you can hire us. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Please go to sol8.com. That's SOL, the number 8.com. Request your free action plan. Until then, back to your regularly scheduled program. When it comes to AI, and I have $100 million in education. So be careful who you listen to. And for whatever it's worth, I'm offering you feedback and insights that I've been able to gain from, actually doing this stuff. So I'm going to stop. This got egoic. I'm so sorry. What is AI really for me? So I have my own definition that I'm going to offer you, and just come with me on this for a little bit. And if you don't like it, you can discard it. My bad definition is AI is machine-driven value judgment. Machine-driven value judgment. Now, value judgment, to my mind, is thinking, right? When you think, you make value judgments. That's really all thinking ends up being. That's the preferential treatment of anything that happens to be in your ecosystem is the world becomes a forum for action. You take things and make value judgments out of them. A stick can be a weapon or a tool, or it can be benign, it can be unnecessary. And value judgments change based off of context. A rock next to a plate glass window becomes far more valuable when there's a fire in the room. So those are value judgments. And to dive a little bit further, let's define value judgments. And this is the technical definition, incidentally, that I stole from the internet. An assessment of something as good or bad in terms of one's standards or priorities. This is the critical part of this definition, because this is what's going to come and bite us when it comes to AI. If AI is machine-driven value judgment, and value judgments are an assessment of something as good or bad in terms of one's standards or priorities, it becomes the standards and priorities that are the most important foundational construct when managing and dealing with AI. I'm so excited to announce this. I am now officially a certified AI expert. And to prove that, you can see my certification here, written in bold ink. Y'all, this is so infuriating and also really funny to watch.